Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me on Cancer Matters. And today I have a very special conversation that I am having with someone who is helping me through a very emotional time. And today I am welcoming Dr. Gene Brooks. He is a lecturer from the University of Texas in Austin, and he will be, he's also a certified rehabilitation counselor as well. So today we have been having conversations off the air as well, but I am open enough to have conversations with him in regards to being a caregiver, a newly appointed caregiver. So thank you, Gene, Dr. Brooks, Dr. Gene Brooks, for joining me today.
It's always Gene
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank
But
you.
thank you for having. I'm delighted to be on with you.
Thank you very, very much. So as I have mentioned that you and I have had some off camera and not recorded off the book conversations that I definitely credit you for one of the people that have prevented me from losing my mind and going off the deep end. So I reached out to you and asked you if you would be so kind and have an on-camera conversation with me too, because I know that as a caregiver, I'm not the only person going through the emotions and the feelings that I've been experiencing. And I just think that our conversations have truly been beneficial, and again, the reason why I can easily continue forward and navigate throughout my day. I hold on to a lot of the stuff that you and I have conversations about. So just just if you'd like to, the reason why we're having this conversation, like I said, it's my spouse was recently diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and it was pretty extensive. The surgery that took place, and it caught everyone off guard. It happened quite quickly. So just being thrusted, going from working, getting off work early to take someone to the emergency room, and by the end of my workday, I'm officially a cancer caregiver. So caring for someone with an advanced cancer, it takes everything. I think I was telling you, it pulled every emotional thread that I have, trying to stay strong, stay present, stay functional, still grieving what used to be. That was just yesterday and last month and 2 months ago. So talking with you has definitely been one of the most self-nurturing things that I can do for myself and for the person that I'm taking care of now. So again, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
So we were just talking about the foundation of what is happening right now. He was traumatized, and so was I, but just from a different standpoint of what is this going to look like? So I want to talk about fear. I want to talk about grief. I want to talk about the anger, the guilt, and the level of exhaustion that is part of my existence now that was not there on the level, and just, it was not there. So.
Okay. Where would you like to start, Renae, tonight? You've mentioned grief, anger, and several other components of being a caregiver. Where would you like to start?
I think I know I am trying to figure out whether or not I asked you this before, the anticipatory grief and regular grief. Like, I'm waiting for a ball to drop.
Mm-hmm.
And then also going home and about my daily life, that's gone. It's not the same anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm grieving something present, and I'm grieving something that could happen later.
Mm-hmm.
So some days I actually sit and ask myself, am I depressed? Is grief and depression the same thing? Because I can't concentrate sometimes, but it's
Mm-hmm.
only when I'm at home. I oddly, when I'm at work, when I'm driving, when I'm working on something, I'm in a zone. When
Mm-hmm.
I go home, my zone is no longer exists.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between grief, depression? Am I anticipating something? What I was just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Well, it's you're clearly experiencing a lot of different emotions, and certainly it's understandable to be thrust into a caregiving role and trying to really maneuver and to maintain your personal life with your caregiving life. And I think sometimes what we will do, what people will do, is you talked about thinking about issues that might happen. That's really where I want to start
Okay.
with you. When you're talking about being fearful of what might happen, how does that really make you feel when you go down that path?
Sad and sad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sad when I think about the worst case scenario about it, because
Mm-hmm.
the difference is I meet in my profession, I meet people that I treat, that's my profession. And the
Mm-hmm.
people that I know and love, of course you feel sad when you think about your family and friends that are diagnosed, but this it's under my roof. And
Mm-hmm.
that is what feels heavier when
Mm-hmm.
it's under your roof. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel sad thinking about the worst case scenario that at some point it could not be under my roof anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the sadness that I also feel for what is that going to look like for my son to watch his father go through that
Mm-hmm. And you're watching that play out in real time.
in real time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So reality, when we talk about what's here and now and present, and what I'm hearing you say is that you're not being your reality is not in the here and now, but somewhere in the spectrum of what might happen, what um, I could do better to be a caregiver,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think a lot of times dwelling on what's not reality can certainly bring us to a state that's not healthy,
Okay.
and staying in the here and now is difficult. I understand going through
Mm-hmm.
what you're going through, but it is mind over matter, really. And I spoke with you a little bit last night
Hmm.
about a documentary that I was reviewing about healing and healing the human body. And so much of healing, whether it's you healing or your husband healing, it starts in the brain in terms of how we think.
Right.
So if you're thinking those morbid thoughts of what might happen, it's certainly going to bring you down. It's going to depress you. And so let me ask you, when you are thinking about some of those issues, what is your resolution? What do you come up with?
I don't, maybe there is no resolution. I just feel like it will be quiet and it would be so different that I haven't wrapped my head around it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. And now I have to think about that. What would be my resolution? Okay. I have to give it some more thought. Think
Mm-hmm.
think about that more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's talk about the anger.
Hmm.
So, what makes you go down that path of being angry?
My anger is from the beginning, there is stubbornness involved.
Mm-hmm.
Stubbornness involved in just even getting to the emergency room. And the
Mm-hmm.
way that it unfolded was giving no, it was like strike three. You declined the first time. The second time you were frustrated, didn't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And the third time it was just told to him, you have no choice. Take a shower, put some clothes on, you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it was dramatic, just going to the ER. They didn't want to go. It was a forced thing. And my anger is because I quickly would give up because I feel like the life that I lead, I feel like I need to stay in a good emotional state and mental state and physical state because of the work that I do, and I have to be my best. Fighting someone to take care of themselves and be healthy when I go home is just, so my anger comes from giving up too easily instead of giving him all of those tries. There's this little voice that says, if I would have made him go sooner,
Mm-hmm.
I'm angry at him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm angry at myself for giving up too easily because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to fight you to make you be as healthy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So the anger is on both sides, kind of. So I'm moving through that because, but at the same time, I know you cannot be responsible for someone else's choices to be as healthy as possible. But
Mm-hmm.
it was just this pulling teeth to go, to go, to go, to go. And we got, a really bad diagnosis. And I know that over the course of that time, the cancer was already there, but
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I'm angry at myself for not making it happen sooner.
Okay. So is it fair to say that a lot of that anger is brought about because you can't control the situation?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I can't control his reaction that I'm on the receiving end of or the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is very true. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. Yes.
So if these emotions, feeling anger, is brought about by you not being able to control the situation, what's the alternative? Is there
To
an alternative?
um there could be, I think, one way, and what I can control is the physical caregiving that I give.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm,
And one surprise that has come out of this, which is with the advancement of his, with the diagnosis and the way that the cancer had spread because of the location, it was up high. It attached itself to his stomach and his pancreas, and he had those parts of those removed in order to, and remove the mass that was
mm-hmm,
on the colon. He has
mm-hmm,
to temporarily use a colostomy bag.
mm-hmm,
And I would have never written this in the cards for myself, that I have become an expert on the caregiving, the care, taking care of I could give classes on it now. I can do it in my
mm-hmm,
sleep now. I would have
mm-hmm,
never thought that out of his diagnosis that would be, and that's something that I can control to some extent, is
mm-hmm,
the good care that I feel like whenever the caregivers come to visit, they think that there's
mm-hmm,
a wound care nurse that is taking care of it, but it's me. It's
mm-hmm,
me. I'm teaching everyone, teaching him. It is me.
mm-hmm,
That I can control.
mm-hmm,
So I'm finding something out of this about what I'm capable of doing.
mm-hmm. Is it in relinquishing the fact that you can't control certain things, is it a big struggle for you to give that up?
Um, the struggle is coming from watching the people, watching him and my kids,
Mm-hmm.
because I think maybe it's not that I can't control it. I want to take away their hurt and their pain, and I can't do anything about that.
No.
They have to go through it just like I am.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
But
what.
talk, mhm. But talking about it, sharing how they feel, how you feel, can certainly be very, very, very beneficial.
Yes, yes. We have printed multiple sheets, just from something from some previous support groups that we've worked on and worked in through in the community that I work with. I have this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful list of feelings, and I have used it, and it is posted on the walls, and we can go to it. And because sometimes in those moments, you don't always have the vocabulary that you need, and
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't come to you because of, for me, okay, it doesn't come to me all the time, But when I glance over the sheet, I do see something that I identify that just resonates with me, that's what I'm feeling. So that has been quite helpful.
And you're able to articulate that.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Let me ask you, we talked about the predictability and the unpredictability of where you find yourself. Can you talk to me a little bit about that aspect of what you're working through?
The predictability as far as my day-to-day activities and what I do, or the future of like
How the predictability of just coming in, walking in from work,
yes,
and having
yes, right,
having a crisis
right, or not. Yeah. So I think the first 2 weeks, I wanted to just not open the door and go in, because a new colostomy bag in the house was very similar to having a baby in the house, as far as the control of the odor from the diapers. He's not in diapers, but it's just the bag itself. Or like when you have a puppy in the house and they have accidents. I did not want to go into my household and smell that. So I became obsessed with the containment of that. So that became, I wanted to come in to every day and not have any issues like that. So I helped teach, train everyone in the household how to clean, discard, and contain that, so that I could come home at the end of a regular workday and do what I would normally do, because I wanted to keep some form of being normal. That this horrible thing had happened to him, to our family, but at the same time, he got, again, the physical aspect of it. We got everything else that came with it, as far as, what is our day-to-day will look like. He's met me at the doorway with, oh, the bag is leaking. And it's like, it's 4:00. What have we done about this? And it's just being met with issues. Or it could be he's had a bad day because of this. And I hope that every time he has a bad day, he expresses it and not walk around like it's nothing. Luckily, he has no problem with expressing when he has a bad day. The entire house, sometimes the neighborhood knows, but the entire house knows for sure. And it's okay. But you don't know what kind of day he's having. So there was no predictability in how he was feeling or how he was doing. So that was gone. Every day was the same. Initially, I work with a schedule. I have timers that go off that tell me when to, stop working on one project and wind down. And I have to turn those off now, because it doesn't always work out that way anymore. We're getting back to that. We're finding little things that help us get back to that, because I think everyone in the household needs to get back to what was normal first for us, because that's how we could kind of go through with as least amount of scars as possible.
Okay. So you mentioned briefly there, he has no problem in expressing if he's had a bad day, and
Correct.
sometimes the neighbors will even know it. So how about you? Are you able to express you're having a bad day, or you've walked into a situation that
Wow, that's
upsets
good.
you?
Yeah. I'm learning to. Thank you for bringing that out. Yeah, I'm learning to. I'm definitely learning to do that. I think over this past week, I'm really saying the words that I didn't want to say out loud, but I started saying them this week, maybe week and a half, is I'm tired.
Well,
I
what
don't
were
have
some?
it in me. I'm tired and I don't have it in me
Okay.
at this moment. I've had to say that.
Mhm. But at one time, you didn't want to say that.
Correct. Because
Why?
I was not the one diagnosed. So am I'm tired? What about the person who's walking around who previously shot 100 shots basketball every day and put 10, 20,000 steps in daily,
Hmm.
and I'm tired? So I think maybe I was comparing the two. Like, who am I to say I'm tired? I don't want to do this when someone has the diagnosis. So that's what I think, that's why I was not saying it at first, because
Hmm.
I felt bad for him.
Hmm.
I still feel bad for him, but now I started, week and a half ago, I started feeling bad for myself.
Hmm.
And I started honoring that.
Hmm.
I didn't want to be a caregiver statistic. I didn't want to be that, which is deteriorating health mentally, physically.
Hmm.
Just, I didn't want to be that. So I just had to take a deep breath and blow it out and say, you know what? I don't want to do this. Not right now. Not today.
Hmm.
Give me a moment. Go do it yourself. Here, fold
Hmm.
this yourself. Do this yourself.
Hmm.
Try, do something. I can't
Hmm.
do this. And I credit my my kids for recognizing it before I did, and it
Yes.
made me more mindful of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. When they say
I
sit
remember.
down, be quiet, don't do anything, don't come out of the room, don't get away, get out of this kitchen, go. Like, go. So that has, I credit my adult children because they saw what was happening. They saw the unspoken words and the actions that I was doing to say, don't take yourself there, don't do that.
Hmm. I thought about a situation as I listened to you. When I was a child growing up, my mother cursed like a sailor. I mean, she just, and she would embarrass us. If she felt a certain way, she was just going to start cursing. And we asked her one day, Mom, why do you curse so much? And she said, damn it, because it makes me feel better.
I like that. Yeah. Yep. And I think he feels better because, yep, he gets it
Mhm.
out. He really does, which is good. It's good. I mean, it's not good to see because it doesn't feel good to see that helplessness of the way he expresses it. But it doesn't hurt anyone or anything. But it's just, it's sad. It's a hard place to be.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it just changes the way I react now. I just let him. I think I've become softer and less reactive to explosiveness because I figure let it out, do what you need to do, you know? Because you're right. I think he does feel better. But I'm not doing that. I haven't done that. So maybe I should.
Well, you're keeping it in, and it sounds like it's manifesting in different ways, which may not always be healthy.
Right. Okay, so so I need to manage. So what would that look like for me to express it, but I don't want to do it angrily? I listen to music a lot too. I tend to find songs that say what I feel. They just seem to come to me now. So.
Well, sometimes we can't always put a pretty or sweet sounding cover on what we're wanting to say or what we're wanting to express. The idea of being able to express your feelings is expressing your feelings. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling pissed off, those are all emotions that we have to acknowledge. We must acknowledge, or else they take control of us, and again we start manifesting different behaviors. So I don't give me an example of expressing how you're feeling, and it comes out as anger.
When he is stubborn about, let's just say, for instance, wearing a mask. So going through chemotherapy, that tends to be one of the requirements when you start getting tired and weak. Because you're immunocompromised, you want to protect yourself. He does not want to, and he has voiced it multiple times. So the way that looks like for me is I just say, fine. That bad 4-letter word that women use, fine. And I say, I'm not going to fight you to help keep you alive. You have to do that yourself. But that's what that looks like, me not expressing myself, instead of saying, put on the freaking mask, sit down and be quiet. Like,
oh, that sounds clear and to the point.
So, and I think I even wrote it down because once I was talking to someone else and he said, just tell him you can be mad, but you're going to put this mask on and be mad. Like, just do it. Just do it. So I have made an effort. I have not succeeded 100%, but for the most part, I've been saying what needs to be said instead of fine. I'm not going to fight you to keep you alive. So I've actually made an attempt to take that out of my vocabulary when I speak to him, because I don't mean that 100%, because I don't mean that. I am going to fight to keep you alive. So that's not true. I'm lying to myself. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's
I do have one other question, path that I'd like to go down. Because at the beginning of our conversation, you threw out all of these different emotions that you're feeling, and the one that sort of sticks in the back of my mind is depressed. You said, "Am I depressed?"
mhm.
Do you feel like you're depressed?
I feel before I wake up at 4 a.m. and I would always wake up about 9 to 10 minutes before the alarm clock went off, and I'm just ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
My alarm clock wakes me up every morning now. I can't get
Mm-hmm.
up. And something that has taken place over the past 2 months that I haven't done since I was in my 20s, which is
Mm-hmm.
hit the snooze button. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do that, but now I
Mm-hmm.
do. Um, I feel like I I don't know the difference between depression and grief. I don't know what it is. I know
Mm-hmm.
that um, I don't feel like I look the same or sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
My appetite is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that is. I'm trying to find the
Mm-hmm.
words because this is new territory for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to understand what I'm going through so that I can process it and continue moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I only feel this when I go home. When I'm doing work in the community, when I'm working, I don't feel that.
Mm-hmm. You said now you don't, now you're having to hit the snooze button on your alarm clock.
Hmm.
Um, what's that about? Talk to me a little bit about that.
I
What's,
always just get up and go before my alarm clock goes off, and I'm just ready and I have my day planned out and what I'm going to do. And now when it goes off, I feel like I'm jolted awake,
mm-hmm.
and I feel I just sit up and I just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
I that was just never part of what I do. So
Mm-hmm.
I still do my morning meditation. I pray before I start walking. Getting up and walking. I
Mm-hmm.
stretch, and I always still say I woke up today. I
Mm-hmm.
still do that, but I think that for me, I feel like something is going on and I'm trying to identify what is this? Is it
Mm-hmm.
depression? Is it grief? What is it? And I have yet. It's new, but I don't know what it is right now. And what's the
Mm-hmm.
difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you wake up, do you wake up feeling refreshed, relaxed, ready to go, ready to take on the day?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
no. I'm jolted awake. I feel like it's the equivalent of you taking a nap and someone just shaking you really quick to wake you up. That's what I feel like.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's new to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it certainly sounds like you're overwhelmed when you go to bed, you're exhausted when you go to bed, and you wake up and you're not feeling relaxed. And if you go to sleep with a lot on your mind,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's difficult to really totally relax and find yourself in that in REM sleep where you
Right.
really relax. And
Well,
so, go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you, because I think you just nailed something, that going to sleep with a lot on your mind. So I started just journaling instead of listening to music when I go to sleep, or listen. I'm
Mhm,
making it more quiet and starting to journal more.
mhm.
So I want to see what that will look like. The next we speak, I'll let you know what that did for me.
Okay. Okay. So, what brings you joy during this aspect of your life? What brings you joy?
Helping someone and they appreciate it.
Hmm.
Caregiving, or just helping someone. I do a lot of community outreach, and I work in a clinic as well, and
Hmm.
people are so happy when you help them.
Hmm.
And in the community, in the clinic, and I have struggled with someone who is not happy when you're trying to help them. And that's
Hmm.
difficult. It
Hmm.
brings me joy to be of service and to help people. It feels good to cook a meal and they're happy to eat it and want more, but it's that doesn't happen with him because his taste buds are different now, and so the
Hmm.
meals aren't, you know, palatable for him always, or he's just, the stubbornness again comes out way more. It's noticeable, and so I'm struggling with that. I am a person who finds joy in being of service and helping people. And there's a
Hmm.
person under my roof that I am unable to help like I help others.
Hmm.
And that is difficult for me. That's difficult for me. That's what I realize. Because
Hmm.
when both of my parents were diagnosed, and like we were talking about, when they were both diagnosed within such a close distance of one another, when you get to have a best friend, relatives, and they reach out to you and you give them information and they're so happy. They just want the information you're helping, and they're just so happy, but you visit as often. They were so grateful for
Hmm.
whatever information, phone calls, and when I could be there.
Hmm.
And it felt good. Every person that I know that's sick and you help them,
Hmm.
they're grateful, they're happy.
Hmm.
I don't know how to help someone who is not happy when you're helping them. That's my struggle.
Hmm.
And I think I'm overwhelming him because my parents weren't in the house. My best friends they were not in my household under the roof. So we realized that maybe I'm pouring everything that I gave to them into trying to take care of him, and that's they're not here anymore.
Hmm.
I care for
Yeah.
people.
Hmm.
When my kids were sick, I curled up in the bed with them, and when someone's sick, I care for them.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't want that.
Mm-hmm. You're nurturing, you're caring, and when it's not received, it makes you feel how?
I'm trying to figure that out. I feel like, what's my purpose then if I can't help you? I can't help you. What is it then? What am I supposed to do with you? If I can't help you, if you're not well and I can't help you, what do you do? I don't know. Who's sick? And then you try to help them, and they're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't need that. Oh, no, that's not going to be. Okay, well, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
He's the first cancer patient I've ever met who just wants to reject too many parts of it. Instead of saying, I'm going to hang on for every dear life and ride this one. It's nope. But it's his way of coping. So it's not even about him. Like I was telling you last night when we were talking on the phone, I'm trying to make it less about him and how do I receive all of what he's doing, and how do I turn that into something that I could continue to move forward with, and just that's what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has to work on himself and all of that stuff the way that he does. Because that diagnosis is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the farther along he goes, then maybe he will allow the caregiving to really take place,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've said this to you several times, and I've asked you if your husband would be willing to seek out some professional help. Could be individual counseling, it could be group counseling. I love group counseling because in group counseling, people can hear other people's stories, their challenges, how they adjust to them, how they deal with them. Is that something that you've broached with him?
Yes, after
Trying
we
to.
spoke yes, thank you. Because after we spoke, I did bring that up to let him know that there are people that are going through exactly what he is going through, and that he could actually benefit from talking to someone who has experience going through what he's going through. And he agreed, and I was shocked, but I am in the process of looking for a support group, yes, for people that have colon cancer, yes. And I found a couple leads and everything. So, yes, thank you. Thank you for suggesting that, yes.
Okay.
So I think once that happens, that we'll definitely have some improvement for sure.
I know that time is of the essence. Your time management is tight, difficult. How about professional help for you, for Renae?
So yes, yes, I have accepted some requests for help, and that actually is in the process of doing it, where I don't have to go out as much with the outreach, and I don't have to do some of the administrative stuff that I was working on. And just little things are starting to take place. Yes, that is happening.
Okay.
Because I cannot do it all. I don't want to do it all anymore.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So that, yeah. So
One
that,
other one other question for you,
okay.
and this deals with your outreach.
Hmm.
Um, what and how do you really feel about being taken away from your outreach? Something that you've talked about passionately. You've indicated that you love doing what you do out there with people.
Hmm.
Being
Mm.
taken from it, how is that manifesting in your behavior, your attitudes, your feelings?
I think that's where some of my sadness comes from.
Mm,
But I know this is what keeps me going and moving forward and to never stop is that I know that this is temporary. That is what I remind myself, that this is not some extensive thing that's going to be played out for years and years, that I will never get back to it. The good
mhm,
thing is that I can do it after hours, and I am also able to do it on the weekends. So I still hold that dear to me, is that I will book events and stuff for the weekends and stuff. Or
mhm,
sometimes if it's after hours and if it starts late enough. And the other outlet and platform that I have that has grown even bigger and just dear to my heart is this platform, which is
mhm,
um, this podcast, where the goal of it is to talk about all cancer, just cancer matters, but all situations that have to do with cancer, which is caregiving is a huge deal. What happens when you care for someone who has it? So I'm even able to do this on air with you and other mental health professionals where we can talk about stuff like this, because my experience of being this diagnosis that turns out to be pretty traumatic for everyone involved. Everyone goes through the fear, the guilt, the anger, the exhaustion, and to just
mhm,
talk about it, that it's okay to go through all of that. It's You're not good. Don't pretend like
mhm,
you are.
mhm,
And and you have to find your way through it, and talking about it is what has brought me through it. So what I wanted to do is to invite you back for another conversation in the future. I'll keep some notes, and I want to tell you what I've been working on. I've been taking notes from our conversation today and how it has improved for me and what I need to continue to improve on. And I want to talk
mhm,
about, my wins, and I want to talk about, the stuff that wasn't so good and pretty.
mhm. Yeah, great,
Okay.
great. Look forward to it.
Yes, me
And
too. Do you have any advice for me and any caregiver who is, again, put into the situation where we are just in it, and you're trying to hold on for dear life and 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 make the most out of it, or
mhm.
trying to figure it out? What advice would you, Dr. Brooks, give to someone that's just who a caregiver, a new caregiver? What can you tell them to give them some sort of hope moving
Well,
forward?
yeah, that's simple. Coming from me, my suggestion would be seek out professional help. You can't do it yourself. Family alone can't do it. Professionals are trained in grief counseling. They're trained in all aspects of mental health, and So someone trying to figure it out on their own, I see it being very painful and very challenging. Um, and some people reject the idea of bringing someone else into their lives when they have personal issues.
Mm-hmm.
I know culturally speaking, um, that's a major issue
Mm-hmm.
for some. So, but it is, in my opinion, one of the best avenues to help one move through the different stages of grief, death, dying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your input, your insight, and everything that you've ever offered through our conversations have again been my strength. And I know we've had a lot of even more in-depth conversations outside of here, but it's your voice, it's the way that you care, it's the way that, I mean, it's your expertise, helping people get over, the disabilities of whether it's mental, it's physical, and to how to move forward. And you give people the tools and just I just have always admired you, and that
Well,
again will
thank you. Thank you so much. And you do know what my childhood nickname was.
what
So, Genie Boy.
shame boy. How did you get that?
That's what my uncle and aunts called me,
Re-
Genie Boy.
Repeat that again.
My my aunt who helped raise me, my uncle, who they loved me very much, they nicknamed me Genie Boy.
Genie,
Genie Boy,
like genie
as
in the
in
bottle.
yes.
Oh yes, genie. Okay, so you help people make wishes. So I have three wishes. Then do I get three wishes? I wish that I was going to get through on the other side with all my
All right,
faculties. Okay.
and you will, and you
Okay.
will.
Okay.
All righty.
Well,
Well, look, we look forward to the next time.
thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
All righty. Bye
Bye.
bye.